Hey yo everybody, Haku here, kinda accidentally camouflaging into the background. Got out of the shower recently though, so my hair's all puffed out. Hopefully it doesn't keep falling in my face. Hopefully that's not a problem. But yeah, here with my One Piece anime episode 786 review. And a week without a One Piece manga chapter I thought might not be a very great week for One Piece, but this was actually a pretty good week for One Piece. This was a good episode. I liked it. Of course there were things about it that I'm like, okay, they weren't the best, whatever. But just in general, it was a good episode. I liked it. So I guess I'll start from the beginning. So I realized in the opening, I guess I kind of knew it because I'd been paying attention to the opening, but it didn't really click with me for whatever reason, or I didn't really care about it for any reason until this episode. But I was like, Jinbei and Sanji's family's in the opening. So I was like, man, it would suck to be an anime-only watcher right now. Just Toei saying, we don't care about the quality of your story. Here you go, no actual reveal in the story. Reveal him here in the opening for you. Man. So that's a little bit disappointing. Then again, with the manga sales, there are kind of quite few anime-only watchers. And also the people that aren't, like, I remember when I was an anime-only watcher, which was quite a long time ago, but back before I started reading the manga, I was constantly spoiled on what was going to happen in the next few episodes or whatever. So, I mean, it is hard to avoid. It's hard to be an anime-only watcher for something like One Piece. Just throwing that out, that was in the opening. And hello, when we get to see Chocolatown again, yo, that long-legged tribe lady, though. And we get, of course, explanation, there are people of all races there, cool. Everything being chocolate, the whole gags and scenes they did there, they could have been hit or miss. Like, they could have really made that dragged out. They could have made it boring, but I thought they did a really good job with it. I thought all the stuff with Chopper and Luffy running around was actually really funny. I think they paced it really well. Then we see the new outfits, and let me tell you, Carrot greater than Nami. I don't really know if that's a greater than, because of course my perspective is mirrored when recording myself, sort of. But yeah, Carrot greater than Nami, and both far less than Brook, my boy Brook, with all of his panty comments this episode, and there were actually quite a few this episode. Brook was great. Brook, just this entire arc. If you do happen to be anime-only watcher, keep an eye on Brook, because he is the god of this arc. And we learn more about Totland, find out that Big Mom, bringing in all these different races, she's trying to make her ideal world. And that's why she took over this country, to mold it into her own unique world. Brooke freaking out about, are there chocolate panties here? That was great. I don't even remember that from the manga, but that joke was probably the best joke the best joke they had going this episode, where Brooke is just freaking out, oh my god, do chocolate panties exist? Chocolate panties, the best thing. Then Luffy and Chopper eat a cafe. Again, they did that quite well. And then the one thing I would say is a negative for this episode, I mean, the animation, except for the ending scene, the animation was a bit down for most of this episode from what it has been, but it wasn't down a lot. It was still perfectly fine. But the one negative I would say, why does the carpet make that noise? It sounded like, if any of you watched the Jetsons as a kid or anything, it sounded like the flying cars from the Jetsons is maybe the only thing it reminded me of, but why? Why did it make that noise? Like, it didn't have to make any noise. I mean, it's a flying carpet, but if it's going to make a noise, why that noise? That didn't make much sense to me. The sound effects team, especially with the loud, honestly terrible sound effects they used for the Germa moon boots, and the I don't know, there was something else, I can't remember what it was that they used a bad sound effect for that I brought up last week. But sound effects team has not been on a roll the past few episodes. We find out that the cafe owner is actually Pudding, and she covers for them. Again, this is something that I didn't really remember, but I thought it was so badass seeing in the animation where Pedro just holds out his fingers and creates a spark between them to light a cigarette. I was like, that's really cool. I actually thought that was a badass, just a little background scene with Pedro. And Pedro is recognized right after that and called Captain Pedro. Not spoiling anything for those of you that once again happen to be anime only watchers, but Pedro, again, very interesting character. So then they all meet with Pudding, pretty cool scene. We see the Big Mom Pirates gathering ingredients, and I loved the way they did this. This, I think, was only like 3 panels worth of stuff in the manga. Like, it was just 1 panel for each of those 3 places, but the way that they sort of filled out and sort of made it more detailed when the Big Mom Pirate crew members were collecting all these ingredients for the cake or whatever, I thought that was really, really cool the way they did it. So again, that was something I really liked, and probably the best scene this episode was the Big Mom intro song. They did a Yonko's introduction right, I'll give it to them. Like, even if it's a Yonko as disgusting looking as Big Mom, the animation was on point. They did well with that, and the song was good. They did the song very well. Like, everything they did with that introduction really, really brought the character in great. It made us like, holy crap, Big Mom is here, she is in the story, we have a Yonko in the story now. But also, it gave us a lot of mysteries and questions if we didn't already know the answers to some of them in the manga. But in addition to giving us those questions and stuff, it just gave us enough without really making anything about what's happening too obvious. So I really, really liked it. And then the end was great when she reveals, knowing about Luffy and everything. It was great. I will say that last scene was awesome. So, thoughts on the episode as a whole I have here. I thought the ending was great. I thought the episode overall, though, was pretty solid all the way through. Like I said, other than that last scene, the animation throughout, the scene with the Big Mom Pirates collecting the stuff, that was animated pretty well as well. But all the stuff with Chocolatown, the animation seemed to be... And even then, some of the sequences I remember not being down from usual. But there were quite a few sequences that I was like, things are a tiny little bit off model, things are a tiny little bit slow and kind of jagged animation. So there was a little bit of down animation, but it really, really wasn't bad. And then if I were to have to think of the negatives, I'd say, even though I thought it was a pretty solid episode overall, compared to some parts, other parts maybe dragged a little bit, but even then, that's kind of a throwaway negative because it didn't really impact the enjoyment of the episode very much. The only big negative that I would have said is that the sound effects have just been really bad lately. Sound effects team, step up your game. I don't know what they're doing with the carpet noise, the moon boot noises. I don't know what you're doing right now, sound effects team. But yeah, I really, really liked it. And I feel like my score may be a little bit low for how much I liked it. But I don't know. I don't know if I should give it an 8 or an 8.5 this week. Because, I mean, while I thought it was really good, it was really solid. It wasn't, like, amazing or near perfect. It wasn't super emotional. It wasn't a really awesome fight or anything. I think I'm going to stick with the 8 that I was thinking of giving it. I'm not going to go up any further. I'd give it 8 chocolate pantsu out of 10. So, either way, that is it this week, and hope you enjoyed the video. So, like if you did like the video and comment down there, and tell me what you thought of this week's episode, and what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more One Piece, both anime and manga. We should be getting another manga chapter this week, so my next videos concerning One Piece will probably be about that. Not including my Haku and A, in which I will likely discuss some One Piece stuff, depending on what you all have to discuss. Follow on Twitter if you want to try, keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. That is it, so thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.